Magic can always be a mysterious thing. A lot of times magic can be used as a good item, entertainment even. But we always know that magic can tend to have a dark side. It tends to have something deep down inside of it that really makes us really kind of cringe at the sight of what really could be an adult with magic. What could really be underneath that tough exterior that would really make us go, that is legitimately terrifying, and I want nothing to do with it. Well, what if I told you that there existed a team that deals with the supernatural, the horror, and the magic elements? And honestly, it has a really good animated movie that we will check out when this time comes around. But but me and Lazy Ween made a deal that I could indeed check this out. So, why don't we talk about some superheroes who deal with the dark side of the supernatural, the creepy, and also the everything ooky, and the dark side of magic. Greetings, geeks and nerds, I'm Lazy Universe and White and Nerdy, and yes, we are indeed checking out Justice League Dark. Now, we, we have agreed that we would have a sentiment on him reviewing Justice League Dark when Lazy Wing comes around in October. Uh, but this, we both thought about like doing it either as a standalone episode of mine or one of his. And we decided that I could review that just for the heck of it because there's not too much of the creepy necessarily that goes on in here, mostly of the supernatural type of stuff. But I will be forewarning people if they are squeamish to kind of like weird imagery or sensitive to kind of like horror or graphical imagery. Yeah, you might want to tune out of this. I picked this up at one of my local stores for only about a little over $3, and I was very happy with doing so. I picked up a lot more that we'll review at some point. So, anyways, why don't we see what the Dark Side of Magic had to offer and check out Justice League Dark issue number 1 and see why this is kind of one of DC's, well, when they did the rebirth, why this was one of their more famous runs of the Justice League. So let's dive into Justice League Dark and see what makes it indeed so dark. I am in love with this cover. Look at this. This is such an awesome cover with a lot going on. You have the demons in the back that we'll talk about later, and also we have the freaking awesome logo with the skull right in the center. That's brilliant. And also we have our team members in a pretty cool team up. I want to make it known that this is written by James Tynion IV, who I'm not really a big fan of, but let's see if Justice League Dark can turn me over. Anyways, our Dark members are Wonder Woman, the Amazon Princess, Zatanna, Mistress of Magic, Swamp Thing, who I never really talked about, but I'm gonna have to in this comic at some point, Detective Shimp. A lot of people probably don't know who this guy is, but it's okay, we'll get to it when we get to it. And also Man-Bat. And we have our title card at the bottom of this, the Champions of Magic. Ooh, but again, I really do love this cover. Very a lot going on. The colors kind of pop and clash with each other. It's a very awesome cover. We open to the town of Zatara, who happens to be doing a little bit of a magic trick. And as she even points out, there are some rules to magic that she has to follow, pulling off of a magic trick just to pull a rabbit out of her hat. And if you know Zatanna, she speaks her magic backwards. So she says words backwards. So in this scene, she says, "Rabbit appear, rabbit appear in the hat," but you're reading it backwards. But of course, Zatanna needs to point out that sometimes good things can happen in magic, and other times really weird things can happen. And if we're both not careful, the magic will give away to horror, and she releases whatever this type of monstrosity is.
That's terrifying. Let's try something simple.
When suddenly, Wonder Woman, the Amazonish princess, appears. I believe this is why most magicians have assistants. I, to, to beat up horrifying magical creatures. I don't get what you mean, Diana. Anyways, yes, Wonder Woman had pointed out that since the incidents of Justice League metal that the tenor had not been the same. So she goes and sees somebody about this, while narrating the entire time. Magic could be dangerous, yes, but it was untapped, creative potential of the universe. It was beauty and horror and ecstasy all at once. Without it, the universe would be a cold, dead place devoid of miracles. That's why it needed to be defended. Why she trained to every waking hour for years to live up to that role. She told herself that if he were still alive, her father would have answered the call at the Windscape Manor. Meanwhile, we get a cute little cameo by a couple of characters. Here we have Clarion the Witch Boy, who a lot of people probably have seen in Batman the Animated Series, and also we have Merlin's evil sister, who I last talked about in the Justice League Unlimited first 3 episodes. And then she goes to see her favorite asshole, John Constantine. Darn to see it, love. You're a piece of crap, Constantine. Never claimed I wasn't. Did you find anything in the toilet, Theater? No. And your magic gone haywire just like all the others. Another backward word, and there would have been no telling what horrors wait. Oh, you have all your wits and will, and it's time to decide where you stand. I stand with magic, John. That's why I'm here. You stand on the sidewalk, Z, and from what I understand, there is more than one option than who to take up arms with. It's bigger than the Justice League, bigger than Wonder Woman understands.
Name are you blathering about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering.
Actually, the Tanner kind of doesn't, but we'll get back to that in a bit. As Wonder Woman goes into a bar with Detective Shimp, as Wonder Woman and Shimp kind of have a heart-to-heart moment. It's actually pretty good for the most part. Detective Shimp kind of questions Wonder Woman, joining up, wanting to know more about magic and everything that goes along with it. And Wonder Woman questions Detective Shimp as he used to be a Shimp long before he was an assistant of the Supernatural. See Shadowpack, in case you don't believe me. And she even questions him for basically going from a detective into a soldier that fights against the magic. Whatever you say, Nightmaster. Damn it, Tracy. I told you to stop with that. Wasn't gonna bring it up here. I know you were here too. You saw Jim die, killed by that messed up Batman in a gas mask. See Dark Knight's metal to see what he's talking about. And of course, it is a nice little moment, and even Shimp takes a magical sword that the Jim held on to at the moment. It's a great feeling, drinking in a spot where your best friend died. A little sword of responsibility hanging over your head. Tracy, she shouldn't mock you like that. You were dad one fun time, Terry 13, the Ghostbreaker, kept explaining that I wasn't really a talking monkey. He thought I was some kind of ventriloquist cat. Tracy's a good kid, except when she turned my beer into apple juice with a damned witchery. It's not apple juice, she said with a sly face. Then what is it? On second thought, she's a monster, and you should bring the whole league upon her here to stop her. Huh. So she wants to talk to Detective Shimp about the dead body that she had found, or the ones that the Tanner told her about. And also there's a bunch of Easter eggs to other magical users of the DC Universe, like Jason Blood, aka Etrigan, Deadman, the Phantom Stranger. There's a bunch of really unique Easter eggs all over here. Very nice touch. Ed Shimp takes Wonder Woman to a man who he thinks that could understand the dead body that Wonder Woman had seen. And strangely enough, it's Dr. Kirk Langstrom, aka the Man-Bat. You found another member! Bobo is just a sister to me at the moment, Kirk, just like you. I bet once you look at this, you'll never want to leave. That's what happened to me. I set up my lab in the second of... I saw the skeleton Joel cuffing. I used to think that I was a league, basically probably saying that he was part of a league of that the Justice League, but he's not. Yeah, this was during a time when Kirk Langstrom was basically always in his Man-Bat form, and he looked, well, like that. So, think of that what you will. As he tells Wonder Woman that, yeah, he's been experimenting with the dead bodies, and that he noticed a bunch of things going on. Dark magical energy getting everywhere at once. not even he understands where it's coming from, and yet he always feels like he's left out. Look, I just want to be helpful. My life hasn't exactly gone planned. I would have gone the way I planned. I would have had a lot more offer on the world. To my mind trying to eat Batman. I would have respected scientist once. I thought perhaps I could make some sense of the strangeness, and they'd respect me again. I think I may have cracked the bodies and resurrected, but I don't want to be a burden. As he showed them their bodies, and yikes! Meanwhile, Zatanna heads to the Tree of Wonder, where she goes and talks with Alex Holland and seeing if he can understand this. They were during a time when Swamp Thing was a magical being instead of protector of the green. And she even notices that Alex was basically eavesdropping on the whole thing. It was not a conversation I wish to be a part of, Zatanna. Men like Jason Blood attempt to wield a strange threat, small enough to keep in the shadows, while heroes like Wonder Woman believe it can be purchased by the light. I'm not certain if either party is correct. Meaning that Swamp Thing thinks that this whole thing might be bigger. He and Zatanna talk, and then she gets visited, strangely enough, by her father, Zatara, or Zachary Zatara, or whatever his name is. As Zatara tells her that she's gonna need to team up with these superheroes, and she will need their help. There is a bigger threat coming than she realizes, and she can't stop it alone. As the magic was so powerful, Zatanna essentially and basically passes right out. As over to here, the bodies start, coming back. Okay, sorry, I had to. As yet, these bodies, possessed by whatever dark magic that's going on in the world, basically come back to life as Man-Bat, Detective Chimp, and Wonder Woman intend to invade upon them when Swamp Thing and Zatara show up. Zatanna? Swamp Thing? This is so much worse than anyone thought, Wonder Woman. Magic is going to die, and all of humanity is going to die with it. And one of us will bring its destruction. And my money is on Man-Bat doing that, since he seemed kind of like the one that would cause something like this. Anyway, for the first issue, this is pretty decent, but not exactly what I thought it would have been. I know that every time a first issue had to bring up something along the way, but for a first outing, it's really damn good. The artwork is terrific. The writing could have been better. Truthfully, I don't like the way that James Tynion handled these characters. Probably the best one that he did a good job with was Detective Chimp, and strangely enough, Man-Bat. He cannot write a good Wonder Woman, Swamp Thing, or Zatanna to save his fucking life. And yet he's credited as the best writer over at DC. Sure, we'll go with that. I just don't like his writing style, is all I'm trying to say. But the artwork is great, and maybe it will get better on the way. I've heard a lot of people say that on the way this series does get better, so maybe I'll pick up some more issues on the way. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I've Lazy Voice, I want Nerdy, keep you on. And let me know if you want me to continue reviewing Justice League Dark, if I can actually pick up more issues or whatnot in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified every single time I make an upload. And who is your favorite Justice League Dark member? Is it a member that's in the comic book, or is it a member that joins later on? Let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, you can be sure to follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below to see anything I'm working on behind the scenes. But thank you guys so much for watching. I believe in your voice. I want Nerdy, keep you on. And until next time, guys, and as always, take care.